All right, so this video is going to conclude the series that we've been doing on fighting the tarpon. So let's go over a couple of quick things. I've told you in a couple of other videos, I only put my hands on the line 2 times. One when I'm setting the hook, and one that I'm going to show you a little bit later when I have that tarpon right next to the boat. Otherwise, I fight the fish exclusively on the drag. Now, at any given time when I first start with only 2.5 to 3 pounds of drag. I might have 60, 70, 80 feet of line on the deck right in front of me. I want to make sure that when we set the hook, we hook real hard like I told you. I'm pulling between 6 or a little bit better than 6 pounds to set that hook. But after that occurs, I'm going to make that fish take the line. Don't be in a hurry just to get that line on the reel. He will take it and make him take it. Now, what that means is you hold it out here because you want it to come off the deck nice and clean. Let the fish take it. He takes it all the way out. Now you're right there on the fight. Fish is running like crazy. And what's the first thing I told you I like to do? I want to chase that fish down. I don't want to fight him on the backing. My drag's still at 2.5, 3 pounds. I want to go out because I need to know which side that fish is hooked on. If he's hooked on the right side of his mouth, I'm going to keep that fight down the right side of the fish. If it's hooked on the left side of his mouth, I'm going to go on the left side of the fish. I don't like to cross it over. So after we get 2 or 3 good runs out of the fish, I get the fly line back on the rod. I then click my drag down to the next setting. And for me, that next setting is right around 5 pounds. So what do I want to do? I need to break that fish's will quickly. He's going to try to get you in his own swimming pattern. We're not going to let that happen. We're going to dictate the fight. So what does that mean for me? I get it up to, like I told you, close to 5. I get right behind the fish, and I immediately start pulling straight down his back. Straight down his back from behind his tail. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to stop the forward momentum of that fish. You do this 2 or 3 times, and you'll find that fish stops and starts to slide back. Now remember, they're not going to like that. So a lot of times what you do is when you first start that, it'll jump. And when it jumps, again, we just raise our rod with a nice bend in it, using it as a shock absorber. Left if he goes left, right, left. But then you go, as he goes in the water, you go right back down his tail again. Notice that the angle is going down. I always try to pull down because I told you once before, I'm going to make that thing bow to you. That's how you do it. You don't pull up, you pull down his tail and down below. My rod tip's only about 6 inches above the water. After you do that for so many times, you're backing it up really good in control. You're making its head goes down. You're just defeating it mentally. It doesn't quite know what to do. It doesn't know how to react to that type of movement. It's not used to it. Now that I get that fish closer, about on the shooting head around the boat, maybe 30, 40 feet, I will again now take my drag up to 6, 6.5 pounds. Now is when I start to really hammer that fish. I get him next to the boat and I'm pulling straight down his tail again, straight down his tail. And now he's close enough to where I am getting his head down. And what I'm trying to do by doing that is his head goes down. He doesn't know what to do. It just doesn't work for him. So I go down. I don't want to flip him. And then I bring his head back up. I do that 2 or 3 times. And what I found, as you go down and then back up, you will see the fish literally come up sometimes and his head pops out of the water. They don't know what to do. We're trying to mentally defeat that fish, take him out of his swim zone. We're going to control that fight. Now, when he does that, you keep bringing him closer to the boat, always pulling down and then up, trying to get that fish's head down and then back up. Now, when you get that fish close enough to the boat where I'm pretty much just about on the butt section of the line, I will step out of the cockpit up to the deck. Now, the reason for that is when I go down and then up, once I get that fish's head up, and I'm going to show you a really cool video after this. Took a good friend of mine, Bear Graham, out last Friday. We got into a bunch of great big tarpon. He's a wonderful fly fisherman, excellent angler. He hooked one about 120, 125, just using the drag, had it to the boat in 25 minutes, and we were able to grab it by its lips, unhook it, and let it go. But in that video, you're going to see that the head would come up and the fish would lay up sideways on the top of the water. I call that pancaking. When you can get that fish at the top of the water, it loses all of its power. It needs to be in the water to really kick. Get him up on that side and you walk him back to the boat. Walk him right in as you're going to see the video. Now, when you go to do that, the fish isn't going to like that. So as you start to bring him back to the boat, he's liable to take off again. Always keep a good bend in your rod because you want to make sure you can use it as a shock absorber. We get him close, right on the butt section. We reel down. We go up, pick his head up. And when he comes up, There's two ways of doing it. One I recommend, this one I don't recommend. A lot of times what you'll do is as you're pulling the fish up and he's on the top, you're having to bring him back to whoever's going to unhook him for you. So when you do that, you're putting slack in your line as you're trying to reel. The fish will sink. The minute he puts his head back down, he has a tendency of going off. You're going to see that in the video. Or when he saw the boat, he went back out. Bear brought him right back again. Saw the boat, went back out. On the third one, laid up top. Bear just stripped down to him, and it was over. He brought the fish right to me. So when we get that fish right next to that boat, and I'm picking him up, when I see that I pancaked that fish or his head sticking up, this is when I grab the line. I will do this, and I will grab it, and I will strip down to the fish. I won't reel. I will strip, and I'll hold his head up high, and I'll walk it right to whoever's going to unhook it. When that fish has his head up or it's on its side, it has no power to hurt you. Now, be ready, though, because I've had a few of those occasions. As he gets right close to the boat, it sees the boat, and it actually jumps. So when it jumps and you've got your fingers on here, you got to be ready to possibly let it go, but just walk him again back in the water. But the key is to immediately go back to that fighting motion and then back up, strip him right to the boat, and you'll own that fish. Now, in this video, what you're going to see, when he's on the surface, it's not dead. It's just mentally defeated. It doesn't know what to do. It gave up. Bear brought him over to me. We unhooked it. I worked him in the water for about 5 minutes. Fish just swam off happy as a lark. So you're not going to kill the fish. You're just going to mentally beat him so that you can make that fight end as quick as possible. This was a great big fish. He did a great job. And I got to tell you, fighting the fish on the drag for me has been the key for me not to lose fish around the boat. I can't tell you, I don't remember the last time I broke a fish off around the boat or while I was fighting it, as long as I was using the drag. It really works great for me. You might find that it works great for you. But take a look at this next short little video. It's really cool. You get to see that fish pancake on the surface. Bear brings him back to me. It's a nice big fish. It was a really exciting day. So give this a try. And also, remember, I do these videos in an effort to try to help you all out. So I would love to hear from you. If you've got any concerns or any more questions, email me at gflutie2@AOL.com. That's GFLUTIE2@AOL.com. Shoot me an email. Give me your phone number. I'll be happy to give you a call, talk you through any of this stuff that we've been doing. Otherwise, I've got a bunch more videos coming up on different topics. I'll see you on the next video. Head up. There you go. Bring her up to me now. Bring her right over here to me. Almost. He's almost ready. Okay, be careful with that. Head straight up now. There you go. Head straight up. Back down her backside, and then straight up now. Straight up. There you go. Keep that head up out of that water. Pull. You got a pancake. Pull it right to me now.